Okay, so let me check the chat. Is there any questions? If we want to use the purity water, so what kind of water sources that we have put in? Is that coming from the mountains, or we can get it from the tap water? Which
So
sources?
So the answer is tap water.
Jadi tadi sumber airnya ya. Yang pertama tentunya dari air kran.
But there are some people that have actually taken the purity water bottle, filled it with mountain water, consumed it, and haven't had any issues. So I do know about people that will take it on hikes and consume river mountain water.
Jadi selain air kran, ada juga orang-orang yang membawa botol filter Purity ini ketika mereka manjat gunung mengambil air dari air pegunungan dan tidak ada masalah sama sekali.
Oke, mudah-mudahan Ibu Minarto dan Ibu Fatila cukup mengerti ya pertanyaan. Oke, berikutnya silakan Bapak Ibu yang ingin bertanya langsung. Raise your hand if you have a question. Just raise your hand, and then we can ask Fernando all your concern. Ada yang mau bertanya langsung silakan angkat tangan Bapak Ibu, atau mute atau unmute yourself. Oke, Ibu Heni, how do we know when it's the time to change the filter?
So how do we know? So essentially we said that the purity filter will be 50 gallons of water or at least 2 months.
Nah, jadi bagaimana kita tahu untuk mengganti filternya? Kira-kira 50 galon air atau sekitar 2 bulan.
And that 2 months is based on regular, so daily use.
2 bulan itu dengan asumsi dipakai setiap harinya.
But a key indicator, if your filter is getting too full, remember it filters all those minerals through, and all those, not minerals, those heavy metals and those contaminants. When it becomes very, very difficult to when your flow rate changes, it becomes very difficult to start, that's also an indication.
Indikasi yang lain adalah karena sistem saringan itu akan menyaring logam-logam berat, maka ketika susah untuk diminum airnya mengalir, itulah tandanya.
But generally should be 2 months.
Tetapi rata-rata sekitar 2 bulan.
Oke, gitu ya Bu Heni ya. Jadi kalau udah diisep, terus itu agak sulit, udah flow-nya tuh udah sedikit nggak kenceng. Nah itu sebuah indikator kalau kita harus ganti gitu ya. Oke, next question. Pak Arif bisa baca di sini ada dari Pak.
Okay, the question is how do we know that actually this the bottle itself, purity bottle, will not have any bad impact when it exposed to the sunlight? That's the first question.
That's the first question. Okay. Yeah. So we've done evaluation and testing on the product that during normal use in sunlight, it should be okay. Should be okay because with India we're using Triton, which is a BPA-free plastic that's been used.
Karena kita sudah menguji pemakaian bahan dari botol ini bebas dari BPA ya. Itu adalah kualitas yang ada. Okay, the second question. What is the advantage of purity bottle compared to other system filtration system or your competitor?
Sure. So as I kind of mentioned in the beginning that we wanted to look at those 4 things, the design, the quality of the raw material. We wanted to ensure that we don't have excessive suction on there. And also those were the 4 things that we want to look at it. But what makes us different is a proprietary pleat that we have, and also the combination of zeolite and carbon, which you won't find in many water bottle systems.
Ya, seperti yang saya sudah jelaskan tadi ada 4 keuntungan dari Purity, khususnya mengenai desainnya, kemudian materi-materi yang raw material atau materi dasar yang dipakai, kemudian ada hak cipta, paten mengenai lipatannya, mengenai kandungan zeolit dan juga karbon dari kelapa tadi yang merupakan keunikannya.
And also the various other tests and verification that we've done.
Demikian juga karena sudah melalui berbagai tes, uji coba, dan verifikasi.
Ya, oke. Saya harap Pak Manta jelas. I hope Mr. Banta get the full answer ya. Oke, berikutnya ada, so next questions come from Ibu Fatila again. There is information that bottled water add with some good mineral such calcium, natrium, zinc, and etc. So if we using purity filter, so it's mean no more mineral. We cannot get that because all is filtered.
Oke.
So the purity water. Oh,
Sorry.
Okay, so you want to ask?
Ya,
You want
ya. Pertanyaannya adalah kalau semuanya disaring, padahal kan air minum itu juga harus mengandung mineral-mineral yang berguna bagi tubuh kita. Kalau disaring semua berarti sama sekali tidak ada kandungan mineral yang positif dong, yang baik.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you can answer.
So to answer that, the water filter has been developed to remove all the contaminants and all the toxins from the water, but it still leaves all the nutrients behind.
Nah, memang secara desain sistem filter ini sudah diciptakan sedemikian rupa untuk dapat menghilangkan bahan-bahan yang beracun atau kontaminasi yang ada, tetapi tidak menghilangkan hal-hal atau mineral yang baik.
Ya, begitu ya Bu ya. Jadi nggak usah khawatir. Yang baik-baik kita keep, yang jelek-jelek kita filter, gitu ya. Oke, next from Benjamin, Pak Arif, would you like to answer?
Oke, saya akan lihat ya. And then the question, can the purity change the pH of the water?
Can the purity change the pH of the water?
Yeah.
That's the question. So
Yes.
purity. So the purity water filter slightly raises the pH of the water, but not to such an effect that it can be called alkaline water at all.
Sebetulnya purity itu bahkan meningkatkan sedikit pH yang ada tanpa maksudnya menghalangi alkalin atau basa yang ada.
So it's mean that the water not to alkaline water, right?
Not to alkaline water. Yes, it's just a slight adjustment of it, but it's not
Jadi naik
to an
pH,
alkaline water.
pH-nya
Jadi
gitu aja.
ya, jadi dikit saja dinaikkan tanpa beralih ke alkalin ya. Okay, the second question actually, is that true that virus and bacteria will die even though without the UV light or UV lamp?
It's when used in conjunction with a water bottle.
There's no explanation here.
Okay, so to kind of give an example, so what we validated, if it's referring to the filter, we will filter out. So when you consume the water, if there's bacteria and viruses within the water, it will get filtered out by the filter, and therefore you will not consume it.
Jadi kalau dari sistem purity ini, bakteri dan virus itu akan otomatis tersaring dan kita tidak akan meminumnya atau mengkonsumsi virus dan bakteri tersebut. I mean without the exposure of the UV lights, the bacteria actually can die, is it?
So the bacteria will die eventually, yes, but it will not. The baseline is that you will not consume that.
Okay.
In the water, you won't consume the virus because the way that it's designed, it kind of captures the
Yes.
bacteria that makes sense that comes from the water. That's a simple explanation.
Oke, penjelasan sederhananya gini, Pak. Ya nantinya pada akhirnya bakteri itu akan mati, tetapi sistem kami memungkinkan untuk menyaring virus dan bakteri supaya tidak melewati celah filter dan kita konsumsi.
Yeah.
Semoga jelas ya. Jadi sistem filter itu menahan bakteri dan virus supaya tidak kita minum.
Even though without the UV lamp, because I know recently, Fernando, there is a bottled water, so it's connected with the electric cable, and it's gonna be like centrifuges, and then the UV lamp
Yeah.
over it, and it's make the hydrogen contents higher in the water, so it's like more hydrogen. So probably part of that kind of questions.
Yeah. So when you look at the science of antibacterial agents, right? So that's what you have various modes of action that people will do. So you have your chemical disinfectants that will kill it through to denaturing the cell, so using a chemical that reacts in it, for example. And then you also have UV, which is a form of exposure to high UV radiation, and that will destroy the bacterial cell. But the technology that we apply here is called filtration. So it's removing the water, the bacteria and the viruses out of the water. So when you consume it, you don't consume the water at all, and that will remain behind in the filter. And yes, eventually, because it won't have medium to grow and won't have medium to nutrients for the bacteria to continue growing, it will then die within the filter, but never will it be filtered through for you to consume it. So that is the antibacterial, antiviral mechanism that the water filter does, is filtration.
Nah, memang ada berbagai cara untuk menghilangkan ya. Menghilangkan di sini artinya ada yang ditaruh disinfektan, bakteri, virus mati. Yang kedua, pakai UV lights sehingga bakterinya pun bisa dihancurkan. Tetapi yang kami pilih dari produk Purity ini adalah dengan cara filterisasi sehingga bakteri dan virus itu akan ditahan. Lambat laun mereka akan mati karena tidak ada mediumnya, tidak ada ranah untuk mereka berkembang, dan kita tidak akan meminum atau mengkonsumsi air yang mengandung bakteri itu. Mungkin penjelasan singkatnya seperti itu ya. Sistemnya adalah filtering yang ketiga ini.
Oke. Ya, cukup jelas ya, clear enough. Next questions from Pak.
Okay, the next question. Does it mean that we can filter the COVID-19 virus also?
So we haven't done tests on the COVID-19 virus on that as well. So I can't give, this is such a new virus, we haven't done testing, so I don't want to say yes or no. So I can't answer that one at the moment.
Mohon maaf untuk pertanyaan mengenai COVID-19 ini, memang belum ada satu studi khusus mengenai virus karena ini kan cukup baru ya. Jadi saya tidak bisa berkata ya, dan saya juga tidak bisa atau tidak dalam posisi untuk berkata tidak gitu ya. Oke, next question. Many people they are not sure about filtering system because the source of the water actually is too contaminated or too dirty. For example, in Indonesia, in Jakarta, Indonesia, because most of the people they are not using this tap water, but they really want to buy like mineral water. We call it mineral water because we know that it comes from the mountain side. Yeah. So how bad that how in the sense the worst case, yeah, how this purity can filter the contaminated water.
So when we looked at, then this refers back to the study. So when we looked at it, we found that from a bacterial load, we will be able to reduce the load by log 6. So that means that whatever was present in the beginning, it will be reduced 9 times. So you'll have 99.999% of it reduced. So that from perspective, it should filter out contaminants such as bacteria and viruses out of the water. There's a 99.95 on the chemicals that we've tested, but it is varied. So we'll have to understand from that perspective what that means. That makes sense.
Jadi terlepas dari sumber airnya Bapak Ibu ya, tetapi filtering ini mampu untuk menyaring sampai 6 log seperti yang tadi sudah dijelaskan, berarti secara bakteri akan tersaring 99,999%. Dan untuk bahan-bahan kimia yang ada seperti pestisida dan sebagainya itu dapat tersaring 99,95%. Okay, actually the question ya, do you have any example the worst water that ever been tested using this purity? What is the worst case, worst scenario?
So there were some people that went on hikes that actually scooped dirty water out of lakes and consumed it and haven't had any issues around that.
Ada kasus di mana, bukan kasus ya, maksudnya memang disengaja membawa botol purity ini ke danau yang sudah tercemar, kotor gitu ya, kemudian dimasukkan ke botol purity dan diminum dan mereka tidak menjadi sakit atau tidak ada dampak apapun.
Okay, I think this is the last questions ya from Mr. Surya.
Pak Surya ya. Okay, now the question, how can we in a sense maintain or to take care of this purity filter? Should we wash it every day or should we change? As usual, if we use the bottle, water bottle, we must clean it every day. So how we keep it, in the shape condition, good condition?
So from the bottle, give it a rinse, a wash, normal, kind of washing in your sink to keep it. So I usually do it daily. It's just from that. The filter, what I recommend, it can either stay within the bottle and that should be fine, or you can take it out and keep it in a non-humid area to just dry it out. But other way that, you could leave it, you could take it out, but it's always good to wash a bottle on a daily basis.
Ya, jadi cara yang sederhana adalah kita ini aja aliri dengan air, maksudnya dibilas lah ya. Dan filternya itu bisa tetap disimpan di dalam botol atau kalau enggak akan dikeluarkan tapi disimpan di daerah yang tidak lembab supaya kering gitu ya, maksudnya filternya supaya kering kalau dikeluarkan dari botol itu. Pemeliharanya seperti itu saja, dibilas dan dikeluarkan, disimpan di tempat yang tidak lembab.
Iya, baik, cukup ya Pak Surya, mudah-mudahan kita sudah cukup memberikan waktu kita sama-sama bertanya ya pada malam hari ini. Okay, I think we the end of the question and answer, Fernando. So
Perfect.
yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Kita berikan tepuk tangan. Please give a big another applause to Mr. Fernando.
Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Indonesia.